And I understand you're actually a viewer and a fan of the channel.
I've seen every episode.
Have you really? What's
Yeah.
what's your favorite? Please say it's an Out of Spec Dave video. Please say it's an...
It is, and you talking about the charging problems that people are having and actually bringing it up, you're really one of the first ones to ring the bell and say, hey, there's some really bad charging places in my experience. And thank you for doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
We do need a lot more chargers here in the States.
Oh, no doubt. Nathan is I'm gonna talk to him a little bit about his charging experience. He's only charged 2 times, like I said, DC fast charging. First time he didn't have any problems, and this time, unfortunately, he's having to do the we call it the EA dance, you know, where you go from one to the next and the next. Just not fun. It says VE on your license plate. What is that?
It's the EV license plate. They ran out of EV numbers in Massachusetts.
They ran out of EV numbers?
So they started doing VE.
That is classic. You gotta love the government. So if you're reading from the bottom up, it's EV.
And I've had cops give me tickets because they read it wrong.
Oh, that's funny. They really did give you a ticket?
Parking ticket because they read it wrong.
Parking ticket?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Welcome to another episode of Out of Spec Dave, where today I'm getting the Model X wash here at Splash Car Wash in Darien, Connecticut. Now, the thing about this car wash is it's a hand car wash. It's not cheap. I pay $80 a month for unlimited, but you know, I really don't want to take it through one of those, machine washes. So really good service here. If you're ever in the area, check out Splash. They're all over Southern Connecticut. Really good company. But what I haven't done in a while is I haven't gone to check out EA. So today I'm going to head down to Stamford, and we're going to go to the Ridgeway Plaza and check out the Electrify America. And I want to talk to people that are charging there to see what are they finding. What's the reliability been for them lately when they're out on the road DC fast charging? And I also want to see if I can find some people to ask them what are their thoughts about the plans for their car, their manufacturer of their car, to move over to the Tesla North America Charging Standard, NACS. Are they, how's that going? So look at this. We've got all kinds of action going on over here at the Darien Car Wash. So let's get into it, folks, and let's have some fun. All right, the Model X is about to come through, and look at this. We got the Super Sudser. What the heck? And you know what you do is you just squeeze this thing and squeeze that, and it sprays the foam right out. I love this. This is for kids or for me. But yeah, one thing you'll see here is that they do hand wash the cars here, which is great. I know it's a little pricier, but much better than the alternative machines. So Model X is up next. Here it comes. All right, so here I am at Ridgeway Plaza in Stamford, Connecticut, sort of my hometown, if you will, CCS charging station. I've driven over here in the Model X. Now, there are not a lot of cars here at the moment. We've got a beautiful i4 over there. We've got a GV60, and we've got an EV6 that just pulled in from Massachusetts. Some of you will remember that this is a place where there's a Stop and Shop, and we've got the sort of the urban superchargers, if you will, the 75 kilowatt ones right over here, a ton of them. And we've got a number of Teslas that are charging on that, which makes a lot of sense if you need to go shopping, which is great. And then all the way down there is an EV Go, because why wouldn't they be charging over here at EA? And I think it's cost, to be honest. Last time I checked, it's cheaper over there, which is interesting. But, you know, here we are. There's a total of 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 stations here at this Ridgeway. But, you know, like the 350s are both down. And here's a gentleman passing through from Massachusetts. He's in a beautiful EV6, which, you know, we all know is an 800 volt car that has the ability to charge up to 241 kilowatts. And then a GV60 over here, which is basically the same EGMP platform car. And what does he have to do? He has to plug into a 150, right? Now, if he's at a higher state of charge, not a big deal. But if he's running in a low state of charge, he's not going to be able to get the juice. So this 350, down. Charger unavailable. Why? I don't know. Maybe I'll call Electrify America and ask them. And then over here, the other 350 down as well. Now these signs up here are relatively new, which say no parking except while charging. But this is actually tucked away very nicely here, really far away from the retail. Anybody that's plugged in or not plugged in here and parking, I would say that's a little sketchy. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can talk to some of the people that are charging here just to ask about their experience of being on the road and charging DC fast charging and what their expectations are for NACS. So let's see if we can talk to a couple people. So my new friend Nathan from Massachusetts, it's only his second time charging, and the 150 over there didn't work, even though it says it's available. So he's moving over here. We do have another EGMP platform car that just pulled in, an Ioniq 5. So the South Koreans are representing here in Stamford today, and we're going to have to see what's happening. But yeah, definitely no 350s. Wow, look at this. Another Ioniq 5 pulling up. So, boy, I'll tell you what, this is going to get interesting here. Nathan is I'm going to talk to him a little bit about his charging experience. He's only charged 2 times, like I said, DC fast charging. First time he didn't have any problems. And this time, unfortunately, he's having to do the we call it the EA dance, you know, where you go from one to the next and the next. Just not fun. All right, so here's my new friend Nathan, who just actually had to move from over here because neither of the 350s were up and running. And so he's successfully plugged in. But Nathan, this is only your second time DC fast charging, huh?
Yeah, I have a charger at home that I usually use and haven't done very many long trips since I got the car.
All right.
And drove out to Syracuse, had no problems with that. Maybe charge an extra 20 minutes to get all the way out there.
Right. Where did you charge in upstate New York?
I think in Utica.
In Utica?
Yeah,
okay.
Just a random EV charger in the city.
Gotcha. And you didn't have any problems?
Didn't have any problems then.
Oh, you know what? I consider yourself pretty lucky.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you know, it's been a challenge with the CCS cars.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm curious, are you familiar with the fact that you'll soon be able to charge your car at a Tesla supercharger?
Yes, but I've heard they've been slow on actually rolling that out, and there's maybe 2 cars that could actually use it so far.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
haven't heard any news on the Kias yet.
Yeah, that's right. It's the Rivian and also the Fords that are supporting it. And one of the, not say challenges, but one of the things you'll need to back up so you don't.
Okay.
So this GV60 doesn't take you out. But one of the challenges that you're going to end up having, because you have such a high voltage car, when you plug into a V3 Tesla supercharger, you're only going to pull around 105 kilowatts.
Okay.
Even though your car is capable of pulling upwards of 240 kilowatts on a 350.
Last time I plugged into 350, I think the highest I actually saw was around 170.
170. Well, and a lot of that depends on the temperature and also the state of charge that you're at within your battery pack.
Almost dead.
Oh, really?
90 or 80%.
And the most you saw was 170. Interesting.
And this was in April. It was to go out to watch the eclipse.
I gotcha. Well, look, you know, sometimes there's a lot of variables that go into that.
It was also the first time I'd ever used the fast charger, so maybe it was like,
you know what,
first long trip.
Even though
I got off the car.
You got lucky because you got juice, but unfortunately you weren't getting the max speed. Your car, just like this Ioniq 5 or the GV60, that'll be able to pull upwards of 240 kilowatts, which is good. And then it'll peak, and then it'll kind of taper down as the battery starts to get full. But so how are you liking your EV6?
It's been great.
Is this your first EV?
Yeah.
Wow.
First EV.
What did you come out of?
I had an Acura Integra before.
That's a nice car.
Yeah, it was nice, but more expensive, and because they had great deals on leases.
Yeah.
Paying about $150 a month less for this.
That's amazing. Because
expensive car.
You got the $7,500 federal tax credit right off of as a cap cost reduction.
And then they had a ton on the lot in like rural Massachusetts. So they gave me a great discount on that too.
Where did you buy your car?
In Dartmouth, Mass.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're liking your car. What do you like best about it?
Just never having to go to the gas station.
There you go.
At home and never need to think about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I did have to go to get new wiper fluid.
There you go. Wiper fluid. And I always get, you know, like air in my tires
Uh-huh.
or Slim Jims.
Nice.
Well, thanks for coming on camera,
No problem.
and appreciate it. Good luck with your EV6. It's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
Is yours the wind edition?
No, it was the long range.
Oh, the long range.
Wind brought it above the threshold for the tax credit. In Massachusetts, at least.
Okay.
So it would have been like an extra $8,000 to get $2,000 worth of features.
And is yours? Yeah. So listen, enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now, when it says VE on your license plate, what is that?
It's the EV license plate.
That's
they ran out of EV numbers in
They
Massachusetts.
ran out of EV
So they
numbers.
started doing VE.
That is classic. You gotta love the government. So if you're reading from the bottom up, it's
Yeah.
EV.
And I've had cops give me tickets because they read it wrong.
Oh, that's funny. They
Parking
really
ticket.
did give
They
you a
me
ticket?
Parking ticket because they read it wrong.
Parking ticket.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Oh, man. All right, Nathan. Good luck to you, my friend. All right. See you later.
Okay.
Yep. So here's an Ioniq 5 that is at a 57% state of charge or 60 something percent state of charge, and is pulling 131 kilowatts on this 150. That's pretty darn good. 69% pulling 131 kilowatts. Just to put that into perspective, my wife's Model Y on a V3 at 50% state of charge will only pull around 105 kilowatts. So that's quite spicy. I like that. These EGMP platform cars are phenomenal. They really rip and pull excellent juice out of these. Even these 150s, they're great. What are you pulling on yours?
It was 160 kilowatts out of 150 kilowatt.
Right.
charger.
So one of the things that you'll see, because you have a higher voltage car than a typical 400 volt car, you've got an 800 plus volt car, depending on the state of charge, you will see as high as 175 on a 150.
Okay.
And right now at a 31% state of charge,
I've gotten 16 kilowatts in
you're getting 160.
6 minutes.
That's beautiful. That's really good. Now, when this gets up to 100 or 50% state of charge,
Yeah.
we're going to look at what you're pulling right here. You're going to pull very flat all the way up to probably 60% state of charge. And to give you a
I
comparison,
think that's as much as I'm going to get because I need about 200 miles to get home.
so you need about 200 miles to get
And
home.
that's about 60%.
Okay.
70%.
Overcharge, even though
Yeah.
just to be
It
safe.
says 170, so I'm giving myself 200.
Yeah, the one thing is that you'll probably hit a lot of traffic going back up to Massachusetts on a Sunday weekend. Yeah, great car. Cool spec. I like this thing. Nice. Here we've got an F-150 Lightning. I know this truck really well. And at a 30% state of charge, they're pulling 137 kilowatts. So yeah, definitely not as good as the 800 volt cars, but at least he's plugged in and he's getting juice, as is the Ioniq 5 over there and this EV6 over here. All right, so this 150 right here, charger number 1, it says plug in first, and connector availability. Oh, look at this. This is new. This help session. I don't think I've ever seen that. Connector availability, how to start a charging session. Next, select. I'll tell you what, I like that. I don't think I've ever seen that. Exit. Okay. The only problem is that I've now seen both Nathan's car, his EV6, as well as an Ioniq 5. An Ioniq 5 that he left. He just pulled away. Both of them tried to plug into this and could not get it to authenticate. So even though this charger number 1 here at Ridgeway says it's available, it's not. And then of course, this 350 over here, it just says flat out unavailable, as does this 350 over here. So EA, I don't know what you're doing, at least here in Ridgeway, and this is just a point in time. Maybe I'm catching this off and these 350s are up all the time. Yeah, this kind of seems par for the course. There was an i4 charging over here just before, BMW, and he was getting juice out of this 150 CCS, kind of the Chatamo one as well. So that one was working. So it appears as if out of the 2, 4, 6, 8, it appears as if 5 out of the 8 are up and running. and getting juice here. Well, Frank is on his way to a wedding. He just pulled in with his Mini, and I told him this unit's working, but these three over here are not. So he's going to pull over there to the Chatamo unit. And yeah, actually Frank recognized me, so we're going to have a little chat with him and just get his feeling. He's on the road. He bought his car up in Hartford, and let's pick his brain and find out how he's doing with the Mini SE. The thing about the Mini is the range is not super long. So when you go on a road trip with the Mini, you got to really rely on the DC fast charging network, much more so than perhaps, with let's say Nathan's EV6, which has got a 240 plus mile range on the highway, or 220 plus mile range. This thing's only got maybe 100 miles of range, or somewhere around there. But yeah, Frank is going to plug in. Hopefully he's not going to have any issues, and we're going to have a little chat with him. All right, so here's Frank's 2023 Mini. I mean, just look, Kyle was a Mini guy. He used to run the Mini Countryman Owners Forum on Facebook, and we've had so many Minis, oh my goodness, over the years. But Frank and Jing are on their way from, where do you live, guys? Hartford, Connecticut, going down to Flushing, Queens to a wedding. By the way, you're both looking very spiffy, so very nice. But tell me about your charging experience and road tripping experience with a car that only goes the maximum of 100 miles. How often do you road trip this, or what's your use case for this vehicle?
Well, we've got about 16,000 miles in just about a year and a half, so we drive pretty average, I guess.
Yeah.
But we stopped on the Merit. We charged for about 6 to 10 minutes, and we got 5 kilowatts, so that works out.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the time we just use this as our daily commuter, go to work. It's perfectly fine. We never had an issue. I've never been to long road trip. I think you have.
Yeah.
To Vermont. Maybe you can speak to that.
Yeah. We did the Minis Take Vermont.
Yeah.
Oh, you did Minis Take Vermont.
So we chose one that only had about 100 miles, and we went around the mountain.
Okay, the part of Mini Takes the States, that section of that run, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know Kyle's been on a number of Mini Takes the States, the full run across all the way. But that's so cool. Look, we're a big Mini family. Does that make sense, or is that an oxymoron? We're a big Mini family.
It's like jumbo shrimp.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, me in a Mini. Listen, I used to live here in New Canaan, and my wife had a Mini. She had a Cooper S convertible, right, years and years ago. And I was driving it in downtown New Canaan one day, and I pulled up next to this guy. I don't know what he was in, some Range Rover or something like that. And he goes, "Look, kids, it's Fred Flintstone." And I go, "Okay, we're selling this thing." So, but anyway, your experience has been pretty good with the Mini. Then you're happy with it?
Yeah, I mean, there's some sketchy places out in eastern Connecticut where you've got like no charging in Lebanon and things, but in the winter it can be kind of crazy. But
yeah.
No stranding yet.
And I understand you're actually a viewer and a fan of the channel.
I've seen every episode.
Have you really? What's
Yeah.
what's your favorite? Please say it's an Out of Spec Dave video. Please say it's.
It is, and you talking about the charging problems that people are having and actually bringing it up. You're really one of the first ones to ring the bell and say, "Hey, there's some really bad charging places in my experience," and thank you for doing that.
Oh, absolutely.
We do need a lot more chargers here in the States.
Oh, no doubt. We absolutely do. And it's going to be good with NACS. What have you been communicated to from Mini with respect to support for Tesla?
Nothing much. And we follow their newsletters. We heard that they are adopting the standard.
Right.
We haven't heard anything about an adapter yet.
Right. Okay. Well, listen, you guys I'm proud of both of you, Jing and Frank, road tripping a Mini Cooper. I mean, that's almost like me trying to road trip Kyle's, his Nissan Leaf, right?
Yeah,
which
the
is
old
like,
one.
yeah, the old one, the one with the big dent in the back, right? So, well, very cool. Thanks for coming on the channel, and good luck with the rest of your road trip, and whatever you can do, overcharge, my friend. Get as much juice as you can in this thing.
Yeah.
All right, guys, enjoy.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, so it's a wrap here from Electrify America in Stamford, Connecticut, Ridgeway. Kind of interesting running into some viewers here. At least Nathan's a new viewer, that's for sure. But Frank and Jing, so nice to meet you guys. I'm very proud of you for road tripping a Mini with 100 miles of range. Assuming you're keeping the speeds below, let's scale at 75 on the highway. But you know what? You're braving it. You're coming down from Hartford all the way down to Flushing, Queens for the wedding tonight. So good luck with the wedding. I hope you enjoy that. And, look, this is a point in time We're seeing 5 out of the 8 stations available here, none of the 350s. So for all you Taycan owners or Lucid owners or even EGMP platform car owners, you're not going to be able to benefit from the high speed and down low in the pack of the 350s, at least here today, at least here in Stamford, Connecticut. But the one thing is the charging curve on these EGMP platform cars, because of the high voltage, is very good. These things are charging beasts when they work great. Anyway, thanks again for watching another episode of Out of Spec Dave. It's just a little charging update for you. I'm not surprised what I found today. And anyway, we'll catch you on the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.